Hello. Okay, we're going to do factoring today, trinomials, day 2. Yesterday we did factoring trinomials when the last term of the value of c was positive. So the warm-up today has to do with that, just to reinforce the difference between a trinomial when the last term of the value of c is positive and when the value of c is negative, like the one we're going to do today. Ok, muchachos, ahora vamos a factorizar trinomios, parte 2. Ayer hicimos trinomios cuando el último término o el valor de c es positivo, ok. Ahora vamos a hacer cuando el valor de c es negativo. Acuérdense que cuando el valor de c es negativo, tenemos que usar burbujas diferentes. Cuando el valor de c es positivo, como el hagan ahora, las burbujas llevan signos iguales, o sea, el signo del término de en medio, o sea, el signo de b. Okay, guys, so the word map was factoring trinomials, all right? And what we did yesterday was when the value of c was positive. Now, the first thing you have to do is open a set of parentheses, all right? So we're gonna open two sets of parentheses. Now, because the last one is positive, okay, we're gonna have equal signs. But what kind of signs is going to be? Is going to be the sign of the middle term or the sign of the value of b. So both has to be negative, guys. So remember, la lección de ayer era esta. Como el último número, o sea, el valor de c es positivo, las burbujas o los paréntesis tienen que ser iguales. Ahora, el signo depende si va a ser más o menos, dependiendo del signo del valor de b. Como ve aquí es negativo, los dos van a ser negativos. So now we have an x here and x here. And we're going to find two factors of 24 that when we add them up will give us 10. Vamos a buscar dos factores de 24 que cuando los sumemos nos dé 10. And we can see that it's going to be 6 and 4. Because negative 6 times negative 4 is positive 24. Negative 6 plus negative 4 is negative 10. Okay? Now, we have the other one, which is pretty much the same thing. The last one is positive. So both bubbles are going to have equal signs, and they're both going to be plus or positive because the value of b is positive. Okay? So aquí, muchachos, igual, el último término como este es positivo. So abrimos dos burbujas. Como el último es positivo, yo sé que vamos a hacer signos iguales. Pero en este caso, como el valor de b es positivo, solo los dos van a ser positivos. C en C, y ahora buscamos dos números que multiplicados nos de 40 y sumados nos de 14. So guys, the question is, two factors of 40, then when we add them up will give us 14. And you can see that it's 10 and 4, because 10 times 4 is 40, and 10 plus 40 is 14. Okay? So that was the topic from yesterday. So este fue el tema de ayer, y las tareas eran nada más cuando el valor de C era positivo. So yesterday's topic was when the value of C was positive. Now we're going to do when the value of C is negative. So remember, okay, just as a review, this is the standard form of a quadratic equation. ax squared plus bx plus c. A is the coefficient of the first term. B is the coefficient of the middle term. And c is a constant. Doesn't have a variable, only a number. So, muchachos, esta es la ecuación de una función cuadrática, ¿ok? Ax al cuadrado más bx más c. A es el coeficiente del primer término, del término cuadrático. B es el coeficiente del término lineal. Y C es el valor de la constante, o sea, es un número solo que no tiene variable. All right, so, same thing. Today the lesson is going to be when the value of A is always 1, okay? So, el valor de A todavía va a seguir siendo 1, así que lo único que va a cambiar va a ser el valor de C, okay? So, here's the step that you have to follow, okay? So, it's in both languages. So, the first thing you have to do is this. When the last term, C, is negative, factors need to have different signs, okay? Make sure the larger number takes the sign of B, which is the middle term. That's what I just explained to you before, right? We also, it's in Spanish, si el último término, o sea, el valor de C es negativo, las burbujas o los paréntesis llevan signos diferentes. asegúrate de que el número mayor lleve el signo de B, o sea, el término de en medio. So, because this is going to be negative, okay, so we're going to have different signs, okay? Recuerden que es una relación siempre entre C y B. Guys, remember there is always a relationship between B and C. Now, when you find the factors, okay, when you find the two factors, then we multiply will give you the last term, o sea, or the value of C, and when subtract will give you the middle term, the value of B. Okay, so remember guys, you're going to find, van a encontrar dos números que multiplicados les dé el valor de C y que cuando lo resten, ok, no se suma, ahora se resta, les dé el valor de B. Asegúrense de que el número mayor lleva el signo de B. So, this is the two scenarios you're going to get, guys, okay? Now, both examples here, the last term is negative, okay? But in the first one, the larger factor is going to stay the plus side because the middle term has the plus side. So the smaller factor is going to have the minus side. Now in this one, the negative is going to take the larger factor because the middle term is negative, and the smallest factor is going to be plus. So it doesn't matter, okay, it doesn't matter what sign B has. If C is negative, automatically you're going to have different signs. Muchachos, eso no importa el signo de B y C por ahora. Lo importa, perdón, el símbolo de B en los dos ejemplos. Lo que importa es que si C es negativo, tiene que tener una burbuja positiva y una burbuja negativa. Lo único es que cuando la burbuja, el término de medio es positivo, el número mayor, el factor mayor va a llevar el signo de más. Pero si el término de B es negativo, el factor mayor va a llevar el signo de negativo. So, los muchachos que estuvieron conmigo en parte 2 se han de recordar, los que estuvieron en parte 1 con mi Soto, no, porque ella no enseñó esta unidad. So acuérdense muchachos, just one more time. If the last term is negative, you need different signs. Now, when you find the two factors, the larger factor is going to take the middle term sign, okay? When you find the two factors, the larger factor is going to take the sign of the middle term. Muchachos, en español una vez más, cuando encuentre los dos factores, el número mayor va a llevar el signo del término de en medio. Okay, so we're going to do the long way first. Remember, that's B and that's C. So here we have B and we have C. So that means that C is negative 20, right? And B is positive 1. Okay, now remember, we're supposed to subtract, okay? So we're going to find two factors that when I move, with two factors of 20, that when I subtract, it will give me 1. And it's obviously is 5 times 4. Now remember, 5 times 4 is 20. But you want, in this case, the larger term to be positive, okay? Because the middle term is positive. So it's going to be 5 positive and negative 4. Because 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. And 5 minus 4 is positive 1. So your factors are going to be x plus 5 and x minus 4. I'm already give you different signs. So that should be your answer. X plus 4, x minus 5. Now here, remember, this is B and that's C. So C should go here and B should go there. Now C is negative 15, okay? And B is positive 2. So here in this example again, okay, the larger factor is going to have the plus sign because the middle term has the plus sign. So en este caso, muchachos, el número mayor también va a ser positivo porque el término de en medio es positivo. So you got to give me two factors of 15 that when I subtract them, today we're subtracting, guys. Every single problem in the homework is going to be subtraction today. So the factors needs to be subtracted. Muchachos, en este tema, cuando encuentro los factores, en vez de sumar, ahora todo va a ser resta, ¿ok? Ayer se sumaban, ya sean los dos positivos o los dos negativos, aquí se va a restar. No importa si es negativo o positivo o negativo. Siempre se va a restar. So guys, remember, in every single problem from the homework, when you find the factors, you are going to subtract them. You're not going to add them like yesterday. You're going to subtract them. So no addition today, okay? So we think, okay, 5 times 3 is 15. But remember, okay, one needs to be positive and one needs to be negative. In this case, because this is plus, the 5, which because it's the largest, is going to be plus. So the 3, which is the smallest, is going to be negative. Because 5 times negative 3, you get negative 15. 5 minus 3, you get positive 2. ¿Ok, niños? Again, 5 por negativo 3 es negativo 15. 5 menos 3 es 2. Si le ponen el negativo al 5 y el positivo al par, le va a dar aquí negativo 2, so estaría mal. So remember, the larger factor takes the term with the middle sign. So the answer here should be x plus 5, x minus 3. So now let's do some of them without using the x. Listen, if you want to use the box, the diamond, go right ahead. But I know that C here is going to be always negative. ¿Sí? Negative, negative, negative. So, en el tema de hoy, todos los valores de C van a ser negativos. So, automáticamente, ustedes abren sus paréntesis y ponen uno más, uno menos. Automáticamente, okay, automatically, you open a set of parentheses and make sure one is positive and one is negative. The order is not important. It doesn't matter what the order is. As long as you put the factors with the right sign, that's the most important thing, okay? So no importa si ponen el menos o el más primero, lo importante es que el número mayor vaya con el signo apropiado. So, to begin with, we know it's going to be an x and x because the value of a here is always 1. So it's going to be an x and x here too, x and x here. Okay. So remember, we're subtracting 2 factors of 10 that when I subtract them will give me 3. And it has to be positive 3. So that means that the larger number is going to be positive. So, 2 factores de 10 que cuando los reste me dé 3. Ahora, como el 3 es positivo, el factor mayor tiene que ser positivo. And that will be 5 times 3, right? 5 times 2, I mean. So 5 is positive because that's the largest number, and this is the negative. Okay? Think about it. Positive 5 times negative 2, you get negative 10. Positive 5 plus negative 2, you get positive 3. Same thing here, all right? Your largest factor has to take the plus sign. So aquí igual, muchacho, el factor mayor va a ser positivo porque el de en medio es positivo. So 2 factors of 12 that when I subtract them will give me 4, 6, and 2. And the 6 has to be positive because of the bigger, and that's going to be the negative, the small factor. Negative 2 times positive 6 gives you negative 12. Positive 6 minus 2 gives you positive 4. One more. I'll have the sign. Listen, I rearrange it. It doesn't matter because now you know that the larger number is going to be the positive sign. So the larger number now has to go in here. You can arrange the symbols as the way you want it. But when you assign the factors, make sure each factor goes with the right sign. So 2 factors of 40, that when you subtract them will give you 6. It has to be 10 and 4, okay? So the 4 is negative and the 10 is positive because 10 minus 4 is 6 and 10 times negative 4 is negative 40. Okay, let's move on because after what I did yesterday, you should be like confident, okay? Same time here, guys, same thing, okay? Negative, everything is negative. So I'm gonna do, okay, I don't know if you can see that, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm gonna do my set of parentheses. If you notice, by the way, okay, because the middle term is positive here, I'm gonna have the positive in the front and the negative after. Muchachos, como el término de en medio es positivo, en todos estos problemas es positivo, yo voy a poner el positivo enfrente para yo saber que el número mayor siempre va a ir enfrente, ¿ok? Solo una manera para que a ustedes se les haga más fácil. So same thing here. See, the middle term is positive, so I'm going to do my first bubble positive and my second one negative. Same thing here, okay? Positive and negative. Now, 2 factors of 27 that when I subtract them will give me 6. 2 factores de 27 que cuando lo reste me dé 6 is going to be 9 and 3, right? 9 y 3. 9 por 3, 27. 9 más 3, 6. Now, because it's positive, so the 9 have to go in the front and the 3 here. 2 factors of 30 that when I subtract it will give me 1. It has to be 6 and 5. See, by knowing that the largest term is going to go first, I I found that it's really easy because I know that the larger factor is going to go in the first set of parentheses. Same thing here. 2 factors of 36, that when I subtract it will give me 9, it's going to be 12 and 3. 12 times 3 is 36, 12 minus 3 is 9, and because 9 is positive, the 12 has to be positive. Now we're going to do the same thing, guys, but now the middle term is negative. That means that if I want to be consistent, I'm going to put my first set of parentheses as negative, ¿ok? So, muchachos, aquí es igual. Lo único diferencia es que el término de medio va a ser negativo. Eso quiere decir que el término mayor va a ir con el signo negativo. Y para no equivocarme, voy a poner todos los negativos en la primera burbuja, ¿ok? Para quitarme ese dolor de cabeza. So, let's do the first two. This is C, this is B, that's C, that's B, and that's C. So negative 3 goes here, and negative 2 goes here, okay? So remember, in this case, my larger number is going to be negative. En este caso, el número mayor va a ser negativo. So 2 factors of 3, that when I subtract them will give me 2. 2 factores de 3, que cuando los reste me de 2, 3 por 1, 3 times 1. So once I find the factors, now I'm going to see which one is going to take the negative sign. And the negative signs have to be the largest number, so it's going to be negative 3. So negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. All right? Next. C here is negative 15. B here is negative 2. Okay? Same thought. 2 factors of 15 that when I subtract them will give me 2. All right? Find the factor first, then worry about the sign after. You know it's going to be different signs, one positive and one negative. Muchachos, encuentren los factores primero, después se preocupan por los signos, ¿ok? Porque saben que el signo mayor, en este caso, el número mayor va a llevar el signo de en medio. So va a ser negativo. So it has to be 5 and 3. Because 5 times 3 is 15, and 5 minus 3 is 2. Now, because we want that to be negative and this to be negative, so the negative 5 is going to be 5 has to be the negative, because when I subtract negative 5 times 3 minus 3, sorry, my bad guy. When I do negative 5 plus 3, I get negative 2. Oh, I never wrote the answer. So it's going to be minus 3, x plus 1. X minus 5, x plus 3. So now let's do this without doing the diamonds, all right? Remember, they're all negatives, all right? Like today, the topic is all negative, so everything has to be subtracted. Okay, guys? Everything has to be subtraction. So this is what I'm talking about. Here, because look, because the middle term was plus, so I made my first bubble plus. Here, because my middle terms are negative, I'm going to make my middle term, my first bubble negative. Aquí, como el de en medio es negativo, voy a poner la primera burbuja, la voy a poner siempre negativa para yo saber que ahí va a ir el número más grande. So this way, I will know that my largest number will go in the first bubble, all right? So 2 sets of parentheses, 1 minus 1 plus, 2 sets of parentheses, 1 minus 1 plus, 2 sets of parentheses, 1 minus 1 plus, then we continue with the next 3. Obviously, x and x, and 2 factors of 24 that when I subtract them will give me 10. It has to be 12 times 2, all right? 12 times 2 is 24, 12 minus 2 is 10. So the 12 is negative and the 2 is positive. By assigning the signs first, I know that the larger number has to go in the first bubble. Al identificar mis signos anterior, yo sé que el término mayor va a ir en el primer burbuja porque ahí puse el negativo. So here, 1x and 1x, 2 factors of 18, then I want to subtract them will give me 6. It has to be 9, my bad, 6 and 3. Negative 6 times positive 3 is negative 18. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. X and x, 2 factors of 45, then when I would subtract them will give me 4. 2 factores de 45, que cuando los restemos de 4, is going to be 9 and 5. Negative 9 times positive 5 is negative 45. Negative 9 plus 5 is negative 4. Same thing with this 3, okay? Negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Okay, only because the middle term is negative, I'm putting all my negatives first, right? Como el de medio es negativo, estoy poniendo todos los negativos primero. Si todo fuese positivo, entonces lo pusiera enfrente. It's just, just giving you ideas, for you guys so you can remember. I'm trying to make it as easy as I can. X and X, 2 factors of 35, that when I subtract it will give me 2, 7, and 5. 7 times 5 is 35, 7 minus 5 is 2, and because this is negative, so the larger has to be negative. X and X, 2 factors of 18 that when I subtracting will give me 13. I think this one, I either make a mistake or because it's not gonna work. I think this one cannot be factored because we have 9 times 2, but 9 minus 2 is 7, okay? It's 6 times 3, but 6 minus 3 is 3. And 18 times 1, but 18 minus 1 is 17. So this one cannot be factored. Okay. Obviously, it has roots, but that's another topic. And this other formula that we can use to do that. But in this case, it doesn't work. I don't think I give you anything like that on the homework, okay? And X and X, 2 factors of 32, that when I subtract them will give me 12, it had to be 16 and 2. Oh, no. What's going on? This doesn't work either. I probably made a mistake. 16 times 2, 8 times 4. Okay. I'm pretty sure that I made a mistake because I probably thought that it has to be plus. If I made that plus, then that will work. So both will be negative. So let me delete this, okay? But remember, guys, I think it was my mistake. But if that's plus, then both bubbles will have equal signs because that's positive, right? So that will be x minus 4, x minus 8, because negative 8 times negative 4, sorry, will give you positive 32, and negative 8 plus negative 4 will give you negative 12. So that, I'm pretty sure that was a mistake in this one. It was my mistake. In this one, I guess that was a tricky one that was just for you to realize that cannot be factored, all right? But remember, your homework should be all like the previous one. I don't give you a tricky one, okay? So, I'm sorry about this. I'm pretty sure it was my mistake when I type it. Just do your best, and after today, we'll have 5 more days, and summer school will be over. Thank you, and have a nice day.